Welcome along to the Football Martin channel. Thank you very, very much for tuning in today. Pre-match preview of all things Bournemouth versus Southampton. It's the Monday night football on Sky Sports, right under the microscope of Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, who you'd expect to be in the Monday night studios. Of Gary commentated today on the Wolves-Liverpool game, so I'm guessing he won't work tomorrow in any of the Sky Sports games, and he'll be in the studio on Monday night for Monday night football. So Southampton right under that microscope of Monday night football, which really does worry me because they will highlight everything we do. It's a big game for Saints. Everton got a big win today. They've beaten Crystal Palace in a big game for them at Goodison Park. They've come from behind to win that one. Wolves have obviously got beaten by Liverpool. Ipswich play a lunchtime kickoff this Sunday against Aston Villa. A really tough game for them. Be watching that one very, very closely to see how they get on in that one. But it will be a big game for Saints no matter what. And I think it has potential to have a lot of goals. I've got you all the statistics around it. We're going to have a little bit of a player focus as well today in the video on Aaron Ramsdale. And we'll take a closer look at his statistics since he signed for Southampton. And I've also sat down over the last couple of days with Ben from Back of the Net, and I've got a short video which is going to go into this show, and he talks to me about all things Bournemouth, the players to look out for, and where Southampton may be able to exploit them and where they'll be looking to exploit us. There's some really interesting matchups in this game. So let's look into this one. Is it a derby? Is it not a derby? Well, it is a derby because we're in the same part of the country, two teams very close to each other. It's about 35 miles between us. So it is a derby. Is there a rivalry? From a Southampton fan's point of view, we're not that bothered about it. Our rivalry is between us and Portsmouth, really. Bournemouth fans, I think, would probably love it to be a rivalry. They're doing really well at the moment. Southampton want to beat them. I think it puts an edge on it no matter what you say. Whether you call it a derby or not a derby, it is a derby. If it's a rivalry, not a rivalry, there's an edge on it because they want to up their game for it. They want to beat us. Same for us. We're up our game and we'll want to beat them. The Cherries, though, they're on the back of 2 defeats coming into this fixture. The last 2, let's pop it up on the screen for you. They've played both Liverpool away from home at Anfield. They got beaten 3-0 last time out. And they also played Chelsea at home before that, losing 1-0 narrowly. They haven't won at home yet, Bournemouth, in the league. They were away at Nottingham Forest in the first game, picked up a point. Their first home game was against Newcastle United, where they drew 1-1. They will feel quite aggrieved with that one. A few decisions went against them. Joe Linton should have probably been sent off in the game. There was also a goal disallowed for coming off a shoulder, which it didn't. It was, they will feel aggrieved, but they played well. They play high energy, high press. They obviously lost to West Ham in the Carabao Cup, a much changed side. And then their standout performance of the season was late in that game against Everton, where they come from 2 goals behind to beat Everton 3-2 in what was, for me, a tremendous 10-15 minutes from Bournemouth. And it shows what they can do on their day. They are a good side. They're full of energy and they will really go after Saints. There's no doubt about that. They're a high press team. And Areola, as a manager, I really admire. And actually, I really like him. I think he plays some really good, attractive football. But there would be flaws in their play like there'd be flaws in ours. 2 contrasting styles of football, like Russell Martin said in his press conference this week. A few notes what Russell spoke about. And I've got a little bit of team news, which you would have probably seen already. But he did talk about the contrast of the 2 teams, the way they play versus the way we play, where we'll be a slower build-up, keep the ball from the back. They will press us without any doubt, but that press does leave them exposed in behind if we can break the press. And that's where the pace are coming. Archer, Dibbling and Ryan Fraser. So he will use pace, Russell, in the side, no doubt about it. The team news, as it stands, Smallbone's out, as is Kamaldeen Silamana. Looks like Will Smallbone will be out till after the international break. I think the same midfield will start in this one that started against Ipswich Town. I don't think there'll be masses of changes in our lineup. Tyler Dibbling, there was no doubt he will be picked. He said, Russell Martin in his press conference, he will be treated Just like Adam Lallana at 36. If he's performing, he will be in the team. Tyler will start, and I bet on him to score again. I just think in front of the cameras, Monday Night Football, have a feeling he will score in this one. Russell did talk about it being a local derby. He said it's not really looked too much into it, but he did say the fans are desperate for a performance, and that's the big thing. The fans will want a performance. He said there's no extra onus on it, really. I feel there is, personally. If you look at the stats on it, Southampton with good statistics in previous results, down at the vitality. However, he said that goes out the window. Risk and reward for both teams and the way they play, totally agree with that. And people, he said, will find statistics to judge what they are trying to say about each of the teams. And that usually is the case. You will find statistics to back up things if you really, really want to. So let's have a look at a few more of the statistics in this one. Like I said, Bournemouth yet to win at home, drawn 1, lost 1. Southampton yet to win a Premier League game since their return from the Championship. Drawn their last game out against Ipswich Town, first point on the board. Bournemouth, they've not won a home head-to-head versus Southampton since March 2016. Since then, drawn 2, lost 4. Southampton, though, are not great on the road at this moment in time. If you look back across all the Premier League fixtures, not just this season, but into the season before last when we were in the Premier League, winning in the top flight is something on the road we found very difficult. In the last 9 Premier League road trips, we failed to win any of them. Drawn 2, lost 7. And like I say, Martin's head-to-head against Bournemouth, as Flash Score said, could prove difficult. Drawing 1, losing 2. Another aspect about those games, Martin against Bournemouth, each of the games have seen his side concede 3+ goals in each of those games. So it will be interesting to see how Russell sets up against Bournemouth on Monday night. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we do and how we attack this one. The hot stat, the designated home team has failed to score in 5 of the last 7 head-to-heads. So there is some hope going into this one, that's for sure. Right, let's look at the team that Southampton fielded for the last game against Ipswich Town, because I believe we'll be very, very close to this same starting 11. Will Kyle Walker-Peters come back in at left back? I think he might well do, because I think he wants somebody with the legs going forward in this one. If we're going to try and break the press, I believe we're probably going to need Kyle Walker-Peters in the team. He's still the best fullback at the football club for me. I don't care what anyone says. He's still the best fullback at the football club right now. The midfield 3 will stay the same, I believe. Fernandez, I think he's brilliant. The flair, the quality that he brings to the side. Inside, Lallana one side of him and Flynn Downs, I think that will be the midfield, no doubt about it. Whether they can get a little bit more out of Adam Lallana in this game, you would hope so. Then over on the right side, it will be Dibbling. Fraser will play off the left, and they will use the pace of those 3. And certainly the man up front who really needs a goal, Cameron Archer, he really, really does need to find a goal right now. In the Premier League, he obviously got the goals down at Cardiff, but Premier League goals, he's finding it hard to come by, but he's getting chances. That's the big thing. He is getting chances, which is encouraging. So the team that was put out against Liverpool from Bournemouth is as follows. I popped it up on your screen for you now. I think Tavernier and Sarmiento out wide will be the 2 to watch. They're pacey. They will cause problems. Cook and Christie will sit a bit like R2, Downs and Lallana. But I still think our midfield 2 just edge them, to be quite honest. Be interesting to see if Kluivert starts. He come off against Liverpool. There's a few talks around the Bournemouth fan base that he may not start in this one. Kepa's been playing in goal for Bournemouth. I think he's doing okay at this moment in time. But the 2 to watch for me will be Tavernier and Sarmiento. Their new Brazilian striker is yet to score a Premier League goal. Hopefully he can leave that for another couple of weeks and when we're not playing them. But yeah, I think we start up the same. We start with the same 11. Saints will start with the same 11. Right, I want to look at some statistics now around our goalkeeper that's played for them. Another player that's played for them. Adam Lallana bearing in mind, come through the Bournemouth Academy. You've also had Aaron Ramsdale play for them in goal. He had a really good time there. So they loved him so much that they would always sing when he returned with Arsenal. I don't think they'll sing for him on Monday night. Also, Ryan Fraser, and there's the hatred with him. I still think Rambo will get a really good reception, but Aaron Ramsdale, by the way, has been so good for Southampton. When you look at his statistics and what he is bringing to this team right now, I'm going to pop it up on the screen for you so you can have a closer look at his statistics, because Aaron has been brilliant already. He's already made 16 saves. His save percentage of nearly 70%. He's conceded 7 goals in the 4 games, but goals prevented, big statistic here, guys, 3.26. He's prevented already. Yet to keep a clean sheet, we know. No errors that have led to goals. He's acting as a sweeper, and his pass completion rate, that was quite low, 61.9%. I don't think it's that bad. I still think his pass completion rate is still decent. So how important is Aaron Ramsdale to this Southampton side? Get in the comments box below and give me your thoughts on that one. I think he's been doing really well for Saints, and he will play a pivotal role if we're able to try and stay in the Premier League, because he is a fantastic goalkeeper for us. There's no doubt about that. His long ball accuracy is 26%. He has gone long quite a lot so far this season. He is mixing up the way that he plays, that is for sure. Get involved in the comments box. Give me your thoughts on all the statistics that I've given you here. Thoughts on your perfect 11 in this one. But it is an edge on it because it's a derby for me, and Saints really do need to get something out of it. I think without a victory, going to Arsenal makes it really difficult, because Arsenal will be brutal next week to play against. We know that. Leicester found that out today when they went there at the time of recording. Leicester played there today and they got beaten 4-2, and Arsenal can just open up teams. The chances they created today, I think the Leicester goalkeeper, when you look at the statistics, was very busy. It was all Arsenal, and we will be peppered the hell out of next week. Bournemouth are another team that have had one of the most shots of any team in the Premier League. I've not looked at the numbers, but they've had more shots at goal than pretty much any other side in the Premier League. I'm now going to give you a video clip that I did with Back of the Net on Friday. I sat down with Ben from Back of the Net, and he gave me his thoughts on all things Bournemouth. That's coming up now, and you can listen to his thoughts. I hope that is a nice way to end the show. I want your score predictions as well. Get involved in the comments box below. But thank you for tuning in to today's preview of Bournemouth versus Southampton Monday night. Make sure you stay tuned to my TikTok channel as well. We're going to have a live phone in on Sunday night this week at 9:30. Looking ahead to the Bournemouth game, and I'll also be live on TikTok again, where I'm going to do another live show, and you guys can get involved in that on Tuesday night. So a bit of post-match thoughts, and there'll also be a match day vlog. I've managed to get myself a ticket for the game, so there will be a match day vlog going out on Monday night. As soon as I get back from the game, we'll go out Monday. By the time we get up Tuesday morning, it will definitely be out, and there will be some fan cam and bits in that as well for you. And thank you very much for tuning in, and enjoy my in-depth review with Ben from Back of the Net, which is coming up now. And I'll see you again in another live stream very soon. Welcome along to the match preview of Southampton's trip down to the Vitality on Monday night. And I have a very special guest here today on the FootballMartin channel. I'm joined by Ben from Back of the Net. Absolutely delighted to have this young man join me. You will be very familiar if you're a TikToker, because this man, you have to go and follow. First and foremost, give your channels a shout out, buddy. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Right, so obviously, good evening, afternoon, morning, everyone. I'm Ben from Back of the Net. So all our social media handles are you can type in at AFCB Podcast or at Back of the Net, and hopefully it should all come up. Nearing 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, which will be good to hit over the next few months, and hopefully nearing 15,000 followers on TikTok soon as well. So yeah, if we try to keep our content as neutral as possible, and provide a lot of match day stuff like that. So yeah, but looking forward to the game on Monday, and it should be a good one.
Yeah, you an absolute must follow. I love the content you're producing, not just saying it. You're a massive inspiration to me at what you guys do. So I watch everything. So I'm really in touch with how Bournemouth season's going so far. I have a good feel what your feelings like in the camp, but it'd be good for you to come here and give your thoughts on Bournemouth start to the season so far. You've had a steady start. The last two have been really tough. You've had tough position though, but you have a fantastic manager in charge as well, don't you?
Yeah, we absolutely love Antonio Raiola. I could not tell you a single Bournemouth fan that isn't completely in love with the way that the club's going at the moment, whether that's on the pitch or off the pitch. But yeah, so far the start of the season's been absolutely fine. Losing to Liverpool and Chelsea, obviously not really season definers, you could say.
No.
But yeah, we're really, really happy with the start. We should have beaten Newcastle, obviously, if it wasn't for that dodgy VAR decision.
Yeah, how bad was that VAR decision? That was so bad, that VAR decision.
So bad. And obviously, we had the comeback against Everton as well, which was brilliant. One of the best ever moments I've witnessed. And obviously, yeah, losing to Liverpool and Chelsea is absolutely fine. But yeah, off the pitch as well, seems to be going really, really well. Bill Foley's taken us in a great direction. We've got a brand new training ground being finished up around New Year. And then once that finishes, we can start planning and building our new stadium, which should be arriving around 2027, 2028, which would be nice. So, yeah, we seem to be going in a good direction at the moment.
Yeah, it is a club going in a really good direction. Established in the Premier League, and that's a massive thing, isn't it? Staying in the division and getting yourself established.
Yeah, definitely. That's what so many teams struggle with as well. You saw last season, the three teams that came back up went straight back down. And it does really show that there can be a massive gulf in quality from the Championship to the Premier League, which is why I think us, Fulham and Forest, have done really, really well to kind of establish ourselves, really, because I think Forest have started off this season really, really well. Us and Fulham have kind of just been steady eddies. But yeah, it's really, really impressive. But it is difficult to do because you see so many clubs. Like Norwich used to be a fairly yo-yo club, up and down, and now they've ended up kind of being a cemented Championship side, maybe similar to West Brom. Sunderland, so many big clubs struggled to stay in the Premier League for a sustained amount of time, which kind of makes it even sweeter that we're doing really, really well, and we're in our 8th season out of the last 10, which is very impressive for a club like Bournemouth.
Yeah, it is really impressive, and you touched upon the manager, and to let everybody know this for anybody that I've watched Bournemouth, so I've got a good feeling of how you play. But let everybody know how will they attack the game on Monday night against Southampton? It's a high energy side, isn't it? Press as well, big time Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think every time we've played a Russell Martin side, we've played them twice at Dean Court, and we've won 9-0 on aggregate. I think it was a 5-0 and a 4-0. So we have always done well against Russell Martin sides because he likes to play out from the back and we like to press high. It does really, really suit what we want to do because the way that we press in triangles really high at the pitch and could kind of win the ball in the final third or the defensive third for Southampton it would be. But yeah, we love the way that Andoni plays, and it's good to see that we've also had a good start to the season without Dominic Solanke as well, which was a big worry for many Bournemouth fans and many other fans, saying that maybe we could be in a relegation scrap since we've lost arguably our best player in Solanke. But at the moment, obviously Evan Olsen still hasn't scored yet, but players like Semenyo stepping up, really suiting the system well. He is such a great winger. He's so dynamic and just brilliant to watch. Such a different winger as well compared to what we have nowadays. But yeah, we absolutely love it, and the way that we play football is very intriguing.
Yeah, no, it is intriguing how you play. The team lineup again on Monday against Southampton. How do you feel we line up against Saints? He's obviously going to see it as a massive opportunity. You're at home. It's Monday night. It's on Sky Sports under the lights. That adds a bit to the game already. The fact it is still a derby. A lot of people will talk about well, the Southampton fans play it down a lot. I know the Bournemouth fans, it will mean a lot to them. Obviously, the game, no matter what anyone says, you raise your game against somebody that's a rival that's nearby. Do you see them really going after Saints, especially with the way that Southampton want to play football, that Russell Martin wants to build from the back with a possession-based style? He won't change his ways. How do you think you'll go after Saints?
I think we're just going to have to stick to what we know works. we tried something a little bit different against Liverpool, because the team that we played against, Chelsea, obviously we lost 1-0, but it did really work. We just didn't take our chances. And a lot of Bournemouth fans were really surprised with the change that we made against Liverpool. Got Senesi left the squad for Dean Howson, and Araujo came in for Adam Smith. So 2 defenders changed there. But yeah, we were really shocked with those decisions. So I would hope now, seeing as what happened at the Liverpool game, that we would kind of revert back to having Kepa in goal, Kirkes at left back, then Zabani.
How's it been, Kepa?
An unbelievable centre back partnership. Against Everton, he was fine, absolutely fine. And then against Liverpool, so many great saves. But then the first goal probably was his mistake, but it wasn't that bad. It was just a miscommunication between Howson and Kepa, really. But he's a great keeper, and definitely an upgrade on Neto, I can say. But you can't really be making mistakes like that every game, otherwise that will cost us. But yeah, and hopefully Adam Smith starts again at right back, because it looked like against Liverpool in that first half, we did miss his experience a little bit. But obviously we will have to be a little bit careful with the way that he can. Obviously he's older, he's I think 32, 33 now, can be prone to picking up more injuries. But what will be really, really crucial to us being successful in the game is our midfield 2 of Cook and Christie. When they're on it, we're unbelievable to watch. When they're on the same metronome, both ticking, it's unbelievable. So obviously they both should start. The only time we sometimes do struggle is when Christie comes off, because he's such a high energy player, provides so much to us as a team. When he kind of runs out at about 70, 75 minutes, we bring normally Alex Scott, who's a phenomenal footballer technically, but he just doesn't quite have that dynamism that Christie has, which is why depth-wise, we probably maybe should have invested there in the summer, because we saw against Chelsea when we made the subs, it made us worse effectively. And even though Scott's a better footballer technically than Christie, he suits our system a lot better. And then on the wings, I would be surprised if it gets changed. Tavernier on probably for the first 60, 70, and then Sinisterra on after that. Kluivert down the middle in the 10. Semenyo on the right, with obviously Evan Nilsson up top.
Yeah, and like you say, Evan Nilsson's looking for that first goal as well. Be no better place to do it in a game against a rival at home on a Monday night under the lights. Southampton, it'd be interesting to see how they line up. I don't think the lineup would be much different actually to what we played at the weekend against Ipswich Town. The biggest thing I've kind of worry about for us is how we really hurt teams sort of like higher up the field. It looks like Ryan Fraser will probably play against you. Had a period of time with you. Didn't end too well, did it? Could you give us a little bit of a background on how that ended and why he's hated so much by the Bournemouth fan base?
So the whole kind of reason to why we hate Ryan Fraser is because obviously when football stopped for lockdown in March 2020, we had the few months off, and that Arsenal were heavily interested in the move from Ryan Fraser. Obviously, the season didn't really end in the same way, so that kind of stalled a little bit naturally. But when we came back for Project Restart, Eddie Howe obviously wanted Fraser to play kind of every minute because he was such a crucial player for us. You could tell in the 18-19 season, he had the second most assists in the Premier League behind Eden Hazard. And he was such a crucial player to us. And because he wanted that move to Arsenal, he refused to play. He said, I don't want to get myself injured, and I want to force this move to Arsenal. So I'm not going to help you out in the relegation battle. I'm going to almost be... He was really selfish in a way, because when we came back from Project Restart, it was so tight down there, and you need players with individual qualities, have little bits of brilliance to help us go over that line. And the fact that he was so selfish and just didn't care that Eddie Howe took him from Aberdeen, where it ended a little bit sourly there, I've heard, and transformed him into a brilliant player. Because even when he joined back in kind of like 2013, 2014, he wasn't a starting player for us, and Eddie Howe has transformed him into a great winger, and he just treated us with such disrespect. Because as far as I'm aware, and as far as every single Bournemouth fan is aware, Eddie Howe did nothing wrong to him, just wanted the best for him and for him to play football like a normal footballer would that's contracted to a club. So
Mm.
obviously Southampton fans may be a bit kind of puzzled to why we'll be giving him a lot of stick
Yeah.
on Monday, but I hope that can kind of clear it up a bit more, because
Mm.
obviously the added reason to him playing for Southampton, which a lot of Bournemouth fans see as some sort of rivalry, is also not great. Obviously myself, I
Mm.
don't really play for Southampton. Is what it is. Like, you had Joe Rothwell and David Brooks last season. Like, it can't be that big of a
Yeah.
rivalry.
No,
But
exactly. And I
yeah,
always look at that as well, like I've watched your videos on it, and you make good points, because I know a lot of Bournemouth fans really don't like Southampton, and there's a few Saints fans that I've always I just think the two South Coast clubs, the big rivalry, Southampton Portsmouth, because it's just such a
yeah,
nasty rivalry. This has never been a nasty rivalry, is it, between the
no,
two clubs?
no, never. There's never been any real history. Like, obviously, you get kind of the standard. There may be a few kerfuffles outside the ground or whatever, like stuff like that. But it happens at like most games,
In
especially in
most games,
close
yeah.
proximity. Like, you can't really say that adds anything to it being a rivalry. But
Mm. So,
it's a nice game to be played. I always enjoy Southampton as an away day, just because it's just down the road, 20-25 minutes.
yeah.
And it's a great experience. And obviously there is that little bit of banter there because we're so close to each other. But I think that's
Mm.
just what makes it fun. It's a bit different to your standard kind of maybe London or
Mm.
Northern away day, which is it's nice.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to coming down. It's my first experience of watching Saints at the Vitality in a way, and so I'm really looking forward to it. I was a guest of Asmir Begovic actually. I went one time, and I watched it in sort of like the player seats to watch Saints Bournemouth there, which is really difficult to do actually. Um, but I'm really looking forward to going down as an away fan and enjoying it. Atmosphere down there's always brilliant as well. Um, Southampton wise, is there anybody that you kind of like concerned you that may hurt Bournemouth? How was Southampton gonna hurt Bournemouth? That's what I'd be interested to get your view on that really.
Look, Southampton do have a lot of individual quality. They've got quite a young squad. If you look at
I
it on
do, yeah.
paper, obviously I don't know the exact statistics of where your squad age lies, but Tyler Dibbling looks amazing. Great
Yeah, he
young
looks
talent.
good.
I watched Southampton Man United won the penalty there. Had Diogo Dalot like all over the place, and
Mm,
he was excellent. And obviously scored his first Premier League goal against Ipswich, so he'll be full on confidence. Looks a
mm,
brilliant talent. We know that Kyle Walker-Peters is a great fullback as well when he finds
mm,
his form, and obviously Aaron Ramsdale in goal. He's a great
mm,
goalkeeper. Like this, put the bias aside, he is a great shot stopper. So you do have a
mm,
lot of individual quality. I just think you will struggle in that kind of attacking third, because Zabani, especially, he's such a strong centre back, but he's so quick as well. That's why
mm,
like Tottenham wanted him before we signed him, and he's played countless Champions League games for Dinamo Kiev, represented Ukraine since he was
mm.
19. Um, I just think you may struggle a bit there, because especially with
We
the
don't
way
have
we
that
play,
physicality up top. That's
yeah,
our biggest issue. We don't have that Shea Adams ilk striker. Then he was the man that
yeah,
scored at the Vitality last time. We
exactly.
don't have we have Cameron Archer, though he's quick. He's
Mm,
missing opportunities at the moment. Not scored a Premier League goal yet. So
yeah.
I do fear like how we're going to break down your centre backs. Like you say, with the pace there will be key, won't it?
Yeah, because I think if Archer were to target Marcos Senesi, assuming he starts, which I think he should, um, Senesi's not as quick. He's still a very like physical defender, great on the ball, brilliant with his long range passing ability, but he's not quite as quick
Mm,
as Ilya Zabani. So if you were to maybe target him, get him in because obviously you keep the ball on the ground quite a lot, get him
mm,
with the balls in behind. That could be a definite avenue, because it has been quite up before, especially because Senesi's usually the centre back out of the two that can step forward a little bit to help our press and maybe um, put their 10 under a bit of a bit of stress, which can leave gaps, which obviously, because he's not the quickest, can sometimes struggle to recover from. So I think that's a definite avenue. Honestly, I've not watched a huge amount of Ryan Fraser since he
mm.
joined Southampton last season, but I've heard that he's been all right.
Yeah, he's done well.
And
Yeah, he's
obviously you've
done
got some
okay, to
great
be fair.
players there as well. I think your midfield it's young, but it's got so much quality. Like Leslie Gachukwu,
Mm,
great footballer. Flynn Downs, unbelievable. I think he's a very, very good talent. Really rated him when he was at West Ham.
mm,
But yeah, I do think we should. as long as we don't play like we did last time under O'Neill, and kind of just really didn't look like we cared about the game. Almost, it looked like we kind of thought it was going to be a walk in the park because Southampton started the season poorly, and obviously got the early goal, sat back, we didn't do anything. So we've got to go about the game. I think the first 15, 20 minutes is going to be so crucial because we get a fast start, score 1 or 2 in the first 20. I think that'll be game set match already.
Maybe curtains, it could be curtains. What's your score prediction before you go? I'd love to get your score prediction and your thoughts on how it's going to unravel.
I think we'll win 3-1. I can kind of maybe see it going 2-0 up at half time. Maybe Southampton nick one back, put us under a bit of stress, and then we'll hopefully just be able to see it out. And I really, really, really hope Evan Nilsson can get his first Premier League goal, because so many Bournemouth fans have said once he gets that first goal, he'll go on a run, because he is a phenomenal striker with so many good parts to his game as well. So yeah, hopefully 3-1 win with an Evan Nilsson goal. That would be the perfect evening for me.
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting. I'll be just happy to try and get out of there with a point, to be quite honest. If we can walk out of there with a point, I'd absolutely take it, because we go to Arsenal on Saturday, so it's going to be tough for Saints, really tough. And then it's the international break, and then we return it with fixtures at home against Leicester and Everton. So it's a really, really big couple of weeks ahead for us. Ben, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on. Give me your thoughts on Bournemouth. Wish you all the best for the rest of the season, other than obviously Monday night. I'm sure you have a great season. Good manager in charge, and good luck, my friend.
Perfect. Thank you.